Hi guys, I'm McLeod and welcome back to some more Robocraft. What I'm going to do is, that's my TIE fighter, still a work in progress. Just got 6 blocks to fill in at the top and then the whole shape of it is completely filled in. So as I keep going up the levels I keep adding more stuff to it. It's got the hover blades inside it, so all it needs really is guns. Maybe a radar, a jammer, that sort of thing. But anyway, what I'm doing is going to be this. This is my tier 9 machine. Now, it looks a bit unorthodox with that strange tower in the middle. Basically, originally I developed it around 6 tier 10 plasma cannons, because I'd used plasma from like tier 4 or 5 upwards. So I had 2 here, 2 in the middle, 2 at the back. That tower wasn't there at all, it just had an extra layer of armour across the front. But I kept getting frustrated by not being able to hit flying guys that well, so I thought I'd try and get some SMGs, get used to that, how they play a bit more. So the weekend where we had the double RP bonus for the victories, that helped a lot, so I managed to buy what did I get? 6 or 7. Yeah, I bought 6 or 7 tier 10 SMGs. Now, as a tier 9 machine, it's been going quite well. There's not many people on my friends list do tier 9, but I've got a rating of 6.2 million. Now obviously, because there's not that many people on my friends list that do tier 9, I don't know if that's good or bad or what. I know Showmofo, he's quite a decent guy. Whether he doesn't do his tier 9s a lot, I don't know. But I'm quite happy with 6 million. That sounds like a good number to me. So basically, this is made up of 702 cubes. At the moment, it uses 136 of 142 CPU. So there is a few CPU spare, but basically if I was to upgrade anything, like if I change one of these red blocks into a purple block, so if I swap a tier 8 block for a tier 9 block, it makes it a tier 10 machine. Now on the tech tree, it's nearly done, so all I've got to do is the tier 10 armour blocks, the tier 10 electroplate, tier 10 helium, tier 10 aerofoils. Everything else is unlocked. So what I thought I'd do is kind of like a YouTube diary, where basically I'll get this machine ready, get it to tier 10, and then I'll document my initial stages of getting through tier 10 and unlocking all the tier 10 stuff. So basically you can join me through tier 10. Now, as it stands at the moment, this machine, because there's not many tier 9s and 10s online all the time, you quite often, when you're doing, as you guys know, that if you play tiers 8 and 9, you'll quite often end up in matches where half the teams are tier 10s. And it's designed in such a way it can take a bit of punishment, but it can still deal out punishment and does damage. I've had some good results. Earlier on today I was getting results like on a good win, get 3 kills and a couple of assists, get like 70,000 RP, which has been pretty good. But right, so let's make it a tier 10. So what I'll start by doing is, just to highlight it, if I show you, let's get one of these red blocks. There you go. So swapping 2 of them made it a tier 10. Now obviously changing all these is going to take me a couple of minutes. But just having that higher quality armour does give you that little bit of increased survivability. Not a great deal, but every little helps, as they say. That's those done. That was a tier 9. So I get my other tier 10. That can go on there. And basically what I'll do is, because now I've got 4 spare CPU, but obviously as you can see down the bottom here, I've only just gone into tier 10, so I've got the whole of tier 10. So basically my robot ranking is unlimited. So I'm purely only now limited by CPU, which isn't bad. So I can just go around. Now these need to come off because the bigger wheels that I'm going to put on in a second don't fit in there. So get rid of these bits. And then basically just change everything I can for upgraded blocks. Put my radar receiver back in. It's only a tier 7 one, that, so I'll have to upgrade that to a tier 9. So if I get my wheels, I've got 6 tier 9 wheels, which I have to say there's some clipping issues because they fit in there and they work, but when you actually see it in battle there was a few issues with the clipping where it looks like they're actually going through the blocks. Right, so what else have I got left? Plenty of these, so just put them around there just to give it a little bit of added protection. And then on the underside I can swap those blocks out and whoops. Swap those out. What else have I got left? 4 red cubes. Might as well swap those yellow ones out. So especially just trying to improve the overall quality of the armour using whatever I've got left in my inventory. So I've got 12 of these things. That's what I can do. Swap these red ones on the inside. Now just when you see these inside bits here, you probably get an idea of the construction methods. I've been sort of reading up on different armour styles and things like that, and basically apart from the floor, so the underneath all this is made of cubes, but inside there's kind of like a framework of cubes in important places to enable connectivity, and the majority of the whole upper layers here is all made up of prisms and tetras, kind of laid out in this sort of fashion here. So if that block gets hit on that side, because there's no face connecting it to there, it won't transfer damage inside. So if it gets hit by an SMG, it shouldn't transmit the damage there. Obviously plasmas and things like do a lot more damage if you take a massive chunk out, but it's a principle I've been kind of using this machine to develop and learn as I'm going. But it seems to work fairly well. I mean, I've been fairly survivable. It's quite often I've had chunks and chunks blown off it by guys in tier 10s covered in guns, and I've managed to hold my own, do some damage back, and survive till the end of the game, which is the important thing for getting your money. Right, so I've got all out of them, nothing there. So I'll use up these yellow ones, change all blue ones. What will I do? Put them in between the wheels, make that a bit stronger. Yeah, so basically all the way through tier 9, the whole of this machine was red tier 8 armour. So as I was playing through tier 9, I was just upgrading every single block to tier 9, which cost a lot. So it was like every battle I was buying between 2 and 16 cubes, depending on how well the battle went, just to get the whole thing up there. And basically as I changed the top layer, so the tier 8 would come off, tier 9 would go on, and then I would strip away this bottom bit and go on the internals and put the tier 8s inside, so that basically every single cube would be upgraded. So as, say, 6 tier 9s would go on, then 6 tier 6s would come off, or 6 tier 7s would come off, depending on what was the lowest ones in the positions I was changing. So that's my tier 10. This is going to be my very first tier 10 battle. Let's go and see what happens. So what I've decided to do is, I've got my little notepad next to me, so what I'm going to do is take a note of the results from every battle. I'll probably play through till I get to, maybe if I stop when I unlock one bit of tier 10 equipment, so if I go for the prisms, unlock the prisms, and then I'll stop, or depending how quick it's going, or I might do like 5 battles and then I'll stop this episode and then do another one, and I'll just keep going like that, so that by the time I've unlocked all the tier 10 equipment that's on the tech tree, I can total up how many battles it took, how much RP I earned, how much tech points I earned, what was the total repair costs incurred, that sort of thing, and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, see, now this is the sort of battle I was getting into at tier 9, but of course now I'm a tier 10. So I've got that fractionally, albeit better armour. Where should we go? Let's go back up this hover guy down here. So keeping an eye on the air. I'm going to get bombed out straight away. It's quite stable, this, and it's pretty mobile, just for the 6 tier 9 wheels. Quite like the way it handles. Although I've got a couple of plasmas here. Try and aim for the guns. So that's his guns gone. Whoa, and I've lost 4 of my guns. As you see, structurally it's still pretty intact.
Plasma tank spotted. Main combat spotted.
There's another rail guy. Let's go and see if we can get behind this guy. Oh, he's nearly dead.
Main tank spotted. SMG tank spotted.
And he is dead. Right. Whoa! That seemed like an unusual place to flip, especially when I've still got all my wheels. Yeah, one thing I will say is, hey, it's a win. This is going to be unedited game footage, so basically I've started recording, I'll play the battles, you're with me the whole time. So there may be bad language, and I'll apologise for that now. But yeah, if I get frustrated or I get cheesed off, then I might swear a bit. Hey, I'm a gamer, we all do it. Right, so what do we get? 323 Q damage. That's not a lot, one scout, so yeah, it's a pretty bottom end victory. But we got 42,346 RP. Make a note of that. I'll take a note of what we would have got if it wasn't on premium. 28,230. And the tech points 10 and 15, which isn't bad. And the repair 4,650. Not a bad start. Could have been worse. So I'm going to go for the prisms first, because the majority of my machine is made up of prisms. So what I'll do is basically the same as what I did for tier 9. I'll just start upgrading everything. Actually, I might do two. If I do the prisms and a cube, that's 56, because I'm already just over halfway to the prisms. So that should be alright. I'm not sure, I think they're about 13,000 per cube, so it is going to get very expensive. So that average win would got me 3 cubes, probably, maybe. Not sure the exact cost. So it's going to cost a lot, but I'll just keep upgrading this machine, and I'll just use that and just develop it through tier 10. Maybe I could, as my CPU increases, I could put some electroplate on it or something like that, just to give it that extra bit of protection. I might redesign it slightly, take that tower off and redesign it and have another gun, so I've got 8 guns as opposed to 6. I believe 6 guns is the limit, so you get your maximum rate of fire with 6 SMGs. I think, maybe 8, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe somebody can put that out in the comments. Sort of went through the forums quite a bit, but couldn't find out exactly how much it was. It's basically your guns fire in order. Like a plasma, they'll fire all at the same time. Up to a total of 8 SMGs, all fire in sequence. So it'll fire your highest tier 1 and then fire each other gun individually. So you do get quite a good rate of fire when you get like around the 6 to 7. And that looked like a hovery guy or a flyer guy around the back. Somebody in there.
Plasma tank spotted. SMG drone spotted.
Now with SMGs, use short control bursts. When you get closer range, you can just open up. Yeah, you got a kill.
Plasma tank spotted. Plasma combo spotted.
So I lost a wheel then with that plasma attack, but I've still got all my guns.
Plasma combo spotted.
And that guy's dead, so it's only me up here now.
SMG tank spotted. SMG drone spotted.
I don't know where I'm trying to go there. I'm just trying to go up the hill. Oh, that was close. a lot of plasma guys around here. I don't think I'm going to last that long. And I'm dead. Well, got a kill. It seemed like my team were just sort of hanging about at the back. I went up to support the other guy who died straight away, and of course that left me by myself. What are the rest of the guys doing? They're just sitting at the back, sniping. Yeah. I prefer the no guts, no glory kind of attitude. Sometimes it's good and it works out really well, other times it's just looks like a suicidal idiotic rush, but hey ho. Alright, let's get out there, no sense watching that. Let's see what we got here. So I did more damage, got a kill. So yeah, 30,000. That's not bad. See what the repairs were. Yeah, and see 16,000. What we'll just do is where is it? I'll turn off auto repair so I can actually make sure get to know what the repair bill is. Now, how many did I need? 28. Yeah, 28. Let's keep going. Now, so I've got 57,000 credits, which isn't a lot by any checking the means, but so I could buy some tier 9 cubes and upgrade some of the internal armour or the armour that's down the bottom. But what I'd rather do is wait until I've got the tier 10 ones unlocked, and then I'll have some more money, buy some tier 10 ones, start upgrading them, and then use the tier 9 ones to take off to upgrade the lower tier, and so on and so on, just so it's a constant, like a constant state of evolution. It shouldn't be too bad. Considering it's very early in the morning, it's not taking too long to get battles. This seems like pretty fair matchmaking. We've got 2 extra tier 10s, but they've got an extra tier 8 and a tier, extra couple of tier 8s. So maybe not that fair matchmaking, thinking about it. Right, this map, what have we got? Flyers, hovers, flyers, where's people going? Let's go back up. What's his name? Squack. Especially these higher tiers, never a good idea to go off by yourself. And that, yeah. You probably saw me in the lower tier armour and went for me, or maybe it's because I was on the ground. But that's the sort of thing I was expecting, really, going into tier 10. Just get owned right at the start. Can't imagine we would have got a lot for that. No tech points anyway. Hey, I did 19 cubes worth of damage and I scouted him. Get in. 15,000 credits. Lovely. Still a profit though. 0, 0, and the repairs. 10,193. Now see, with premium I made, let's say, 5,000 credits profit. If I wasn't on premium, I still would have made 180 profit. So premium, the extra you get for the 50% extra TP and RP for premium, it's definitely worth it. And premium in this game is nowhere near as expensive as it is for let's say World of Tanks. because premium you get 1 month for 5,500. 5,500 would set you back, yeah, so you're looking at £3.50 in British pounds. It's about $6 or about €4.50. So yeah, I mean it's very inexpensive when you think World of Tanks cost you about £9 or so for a month. War Thunder's pretty much the same, so it's cheaper. Arguably they could be considered AAA games because of the quality of and the quantity of their content, whereas this is definitely an indie game, but it's getting quite a big community and it's a fun game. It's innovative. Just the way you build your own things, you go in and you battle them. I think it's great. It's pretty much why I'm playing this. I'm not playing World of Tanks or War Thunder at the moment. I mean, you take a tier 10 into World of Tanks and you get one shot with doing practically no damage right at the beginning, like if you get ammo racked, and you come out and there's going to be a hefty repair bill, even if you've got premium. It's just that little bit more forgiving in this game. Now, when I was in my plasma equipped, I used to go up to this ledge up here, and you can sort of be like a high artillery sort of emplacement. Plasma right there.
Plasma copper spotted.
Got the spot on him anyway. Usually by now there would have been flyers up here, raining plasma down on me if I was in my plasma. That's why I came up here, because I thought, well, if flyers come I can actually do some damage to them hopefully. Or just get one shot like I did in that last battle. Alright, let's go down the hill. And he's flipped it again. And he's flipped it again. Oh boy. See me getting stuck there, I just end up like a sitting duck. Whilst I was on my grind away through tier 9, there's a couple of times I did some silly things. I was upgrading some of the armour cubes behind the wheels, and I forgot to put 2 of my wheels back on before I went into a battle, and just couldn't drive it properly at all, which was ridiculous. See if I can put some hurt into that guy. Try and get his guns. Ouch, that hurt. I've only got 1 gun left, so I'm pretty useless now. And now I've got no guns left. Run away! Run away! And I can't get off the wall. I've only got 2 wheels. Yeah, this is not going to end well. One thing I won't do though is just quit out of the battle. You know, if I die, yeah, I'll quit the battle. But as long as you're alive, I'll stay in. Because you get so much more if the team wins. And also, if I can, by some miracle, make it up this hill, I might be able to get some cat points. And it really annoys me if you're like shooting somebody and you basically immobilise them, or you take all their guns so they just end up useless, and then for whatever reason you can't kill them straight away and they just quit out the battle. That's just, it's not very sporting at all. It's just kind of like very cowardly. You're just denying people the kill reward for arguably beating you in a game. Like, there we won, and I stayed alive. I think I did a bit more damage in that one. Let's see how we got on. Well, ish. 39, 594, 9, 26, 396. Probably quite a steep repair bill because there wasn't much of me left. 14, yeah, 14,586. I'm not sure how the repairs work because I didn't get totally destroyed in that battle, whereas in the previous battle I got completely destroyed, and I had a 4,000 less of a repair bill. I still need 1 to get the prism, so that's a bit strange. So I don't know if the repairs works as each individual cube that gets destroyed you get as a certain repair value added onto that, or if it's a percentage of the damage you've done or something. I'm not entirely sure. I have to try and find out how that works and what the mechanics are behind that. I mean, it's possibly that I had a lot of individual cubes shot off there in separate instances, whereas when I got one shot, that plasma strike probably hit right down on my pilot, just the area around my pilot. So maybe that's why it counted as less damage. I'm not too sure. So I need 1 more tech point to get my tier 10 prism. Be my first tier 10 black cubes. So what I'll do is I'll unlock that, hopefully after this battle. Buy some, put them on, and then we'll call that episode 1.
Connection lost.
Don't know if you heard that there. That was my TeamSpeak server just disconnecting. Resets every 6 o'clock every morning. So it's not my server, it's the server that me and my friends use. And this is always the way. I only need 1 tech point, so it starts taking longer to get into a battle. Probably guarantee I'll die without getting any tech points. It's the wonders of grinding for things.
Connected.
If you're just going in and playing, it's like if I wasn't actually trying to unlock anything, I'd probably just get game after game after game without waiting at all. There we go. Don't mind waiting an extra minute or two. Gave me time to roll a cigarette. Not that I'm promoting smoking by any stretch of means, it's very bad for you. But I like it. So, same map. Do I tempt fate and go the same way as I did before? I've got 1 shot. Why not? Lightning never strikes twice, right? It's going to turn into famous last words. I'll come around this corner and get completely obliterated again. I thought I saw somebody there. It's quite hard to see sometimes with a fog of war. There could be somebody up there, and a lot of the time when you're in a flyer it's easier to see people that is on the ground than it is to see people in the air when you're on the ground. Now, there definitely was another flyer behind those hills. So if I can get a scout or a kill and some decent, like usually a scout and some decent damage is enough to get a tech point or 2. That's what I'm hoping for. Well, I'm not going to play for that, I'm going to play for getting kills and doing as much damage and scouting as possible. exactly the most pacifistic type player. Can't quite see them. Oh, don't roll, don't roll. Get up behind these rail guys. I could really mess them up. Because if they're reloading or something. Got one of them. Two of them. That should be my tech points I need. Right, let's put some hurt on this plasma guy. Got him. It's turning into a pretty alright game. Now there's one of them capping. I'm nowhere near. I might just sit on the cap. Trying to get some more tech points. I'm too slow to get all the way back over there. We've got people closer. And they've hit him already, so yeah. Yeah, we're in good shape. 3 kills. I think I remember to scout those guys before I started shooting them. Just to get some extra rewards. And I mean, I took a few rail shots there, took a few plasma shots. I've still got 3 guns left. And you can see my robot is still fairly in one sort of piece. Get an idea of the structure there with the prisms and things. But it's designed in a way to absorb damage at every possible opportunity, so that when the shots come in, pieces of it will disintegrate, but the damage won't pass that far through the machine. I think I did quite well then for a newbie tier 10. Get the most kills on a team. Should be a much better result. 2093 damage, that's what we like to see. And I didn't get any scouts. I must have missed them. It's on cooldown because I tried scouting them in third person view, so I probably couldn't see it. And then there's when you press Q and you miss your target, so to speak, there's a cooldown. But right, let's take a note of these results. 52,998. 21 tech points. 14 would have been 35,332. And the repairs 7,762. Not bad. Let's get that repaired. Decent amount of tech points there. Right, so let's unlock the prisms. 20 left. Let's go to the shop. 11,985 for one prism. So I've got enough. Buy 10 of them. And then let's change. What should we do? Start upgrading the armour around some of these guns. Do on the sides. That gives us 2 left. What should we do with these 2? Put them on there. So yeah, first tier 10 armour blocks on there. costs a lot. What I may do at some point is just put the plasmas back on it and see how I do, compare the results of plasmas. But that took 5 battles to unlock 1 tier 10 armour cube, which wasn't too bad. I mean, that was a total of what, 18, 27, 48 tech cubes, tech points in 5 battles with a only just tier 10 machine. So yeah, quite happy with that. What I'll do, I'll call this an episode. I don't know how long it's been going on for. It's probably been going on too long. So this could be Tier 10 Diary of a Noob, Episode 1. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, just subscribe. Feel free to leave any comments in that below. And coming up soon will be Episode 2, where I get I'll probably go for the cubes and something else. So I've already nearly got the cubes anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Nearly got the cubes anyway. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.